This is wild. Destiny 2 has sunset 80% of the entire game thanks to the portal. With a title that spicy, I absolutely had to see what we're talking about here. This is an article from Paul Tassi on Forbes. Let's jump into it. As I watch Destiny 2 continue to lose 10,000 concurrent players every weekend, I don't think it's any real mystery as to why. Oof. The scope of Destiny 2 has been dramatically reduced with the launch of the Edge of Fate and this entire new era. Edge of Fate itself was decently sized for what it was. I would argue is a little bit on the smaller side, albeit now lacking things like any sort of weekly story updates. The real culprit is the portal, and the fact that its adjacent new tiered armor and weapon system has sunset the entire rest of the game. So you're talking about the world tab. Someone commented saying Paul Tassi is clickbait. Well, we'll see here. We'll be the judge of this. I think that Paul actually has some pretty good opinions. I think that he's generally trying to advocate for the betterment of Destiny 2. I don't think he's just rage baiting. Like the entire rest of the game, okay? This is not an exaggeration. In an era where the entire game is now the pursuit of power and tiered weapons and armor, this new system launched without powerful drops or tiered weapons and armor anywhere in the game besides Kepler and the portal. That's it, outside of a few holidays and things like trials. This means that all old campaigns, destinations, playlists, dungeons, and raids do not play into this system at all. You can run them for old gear which cannot be converted or upgraded into the new system. I feel like we need a conversion system. This is actually an excellent point of conversation here. We do need a conversion system, a way to bring the old gear over to new gear, even if you can't make it tier 5, like, because that would be kind of ridiculous, right? We should at least be able to bring it up to like tier 1, tier 2, right? At least tier 2. You know, convert your old gear to tier 2 gear. I don't see a problem with that. Make it kind of expensive so it's not like free and easy, but like, you know, let there at least be an option. The playlist vendors, for instance, do not even have a reward track anymore. The relatively recent, well-liked Pathfinder system was deleted entirely. Pathfinder was meh at best though. Pathfinder, it was okay. It wasn't my favorite. Did it need to go? No. Do I miss it that much? Not really. Grandmaster strikes don't exist at all anymore. They've been replaced with those like the Conquest, right? The Conquest now. This is, without exaggeration, at least 80% of the existing playable content in Destiny 2, and I don't think that's an exaggeration. And you can see what might be coming as a fix for this in the future. If you were to compare all the content in the Edge of Fate to what we have now and what is in the portal versus what was in the final shape, right? If you compared all the content from the final shape to the stuff that is just in the portal, it's definitely an 80-20 split, I would say. And easy to make prediction is that for the 4th or 5th time, Bungie will probably start reintroducing and reissuing these weapons under the new tiered system. A few new perks and the ability to land tier 1 through 5s with the new system and its new difficulty tiers. Yeah, we get some of these weapons have been are already on their like 3rd, 4th iteration. So could you imagine when you get your, 5th or 6th iteration of the palindrome? Destiny has done this forever with each new pass on gear, but at this point it's just exhausting, and trying to earn the same hung jury for the 5th time, but now with a tier, is maddening. Yeah, the problem of recycled content continues. The problem is there's no solution here other than what I've just said, which is not really anything satisfying in the first place. Bungie does not want you playing old content anymore. They very much want you playing new content, as Lord only knows that player counts have crashed post-final shape, and they have to herd players into the new stuff. The portal is not going away. It can't. The entire game has been restructured around it, and even if tiers are added here and there in the other parts, the portal will always be the core. That's not good, and it's especially not good when Bungie does not seem to know how to properly balance the game within the portal itself. All these many weeks later, still unable to get players away from running the same 2 activities for loot, while everything else feels like a waste of time. So talking about still everyone's grinding solo ops or even just pinnacle ops, and even in those they're just grinding one particular activity. This is a bad situation. The portal as an additional ecosystem of the game could have worked, as there are some neat things about it. The portal, as almost the entirety of Destiny 2 right now, may be the only thing that ultimately sinks it. I hope that's not true. This is an interesting article. I actually think that this is an interesting point to talk about, and the portal itself had a ton of criticism before it was even brought to Destiny 2. A lot of people were very skeptical of this being a good system, especially given how Bungie has managed these types of changes in the past. I think it would have been wise for Bungie to, instead of trying to flip a light switch with the portal and the world tab and previous weapons and armor, instead try to slowly push things over into the portal, you know, month by month, update by update, slowly push things over into it, so that way it's a constant flow of new things while still keeping the old things relevant. I wish that the portal had launched with dungeons in it, maybe even some raids in it. Would have been nice. Could you imagine if it just launched and just had like Pantheon in it, right? Like the old Pantheon that we previously played. Something, anything, you know what I'm saying? Something to really entice you and get you into it. It feels like it was very undercooked. They didn't bring enough into the portal. They probably did the best they could. And it does feel like 80% of the game is gone right now, which makes playing the game feel very empty. I don't understand why there isn't a more aggressive approach to get more things into the portal. Like this should be like a weekly thing. With every update, there should be like 1 or 2 things added into the portal. It should just be a constant flow. We just need to constantly be shoveling all the old content into there, as many new missions as we can as well. You know, it should be in tandem, right? The old stuff needs to get updated and have all the new modifiers. There should be new stuff. There should be new modifiers. You know, we're in week 7 now, 6, 7 of Edge of Fate. It's not looking good. What is the population looking like? I feel like the population has been depressing me lately. I haven't even been looking at it as much. So yeah, we're up to 30. Yeah, we're at 30,000 for 24. We were below it at about 29,000 some. So it's been a really low week here. We've been at a regular of 30,000 players. It's not the worst though. It's not the last few months of the final shape. Let's be real about it though, okay? There was 19,000 players playing 44 minutes ago, okay? So at sub 20,000 currently on Steam. It's getting down there. How do you feel about 80% of the game essentially being sunset to the portal? Now, obviously, they are bringing the dungeons over in next week. They should be doing that, right? Or at least sometime in Ash and Iron. Dungeons are coming over. They said in September, so we don't know the exact date. They should be heading over. That should help a little bit, but even with the dungeons in there, I don't think that fixes the problem. We need more than that. The population is aging like milk right now in Destiny 2. It's a big problem.